All right, people, get ready. I'm going to piss you off real bad. Religion and tax-free. It pisses me off. This morning, I get a knock on the door at the crack of ass. And these guys wake me up. I go downstairs, open the door. It's these two idiots selling their religion door to door like it's a Hoover fucking vacuum cleaner. We want to talk to you about the Bible. Oh, pissed me off. I slammed the door in their face. I screamed at them and slammed the door in their face. Then I get a call from my buddy. I told him what happened. He goes, Dave, what are you getting so upset about? You know, let the religious people be. They don't affect you. They affect me every single day in a negative way. Religion affects me every day in a negative way, and let me tell you how. Let me just talk about one way, financially. Because religion goes tax-free. And who has to pick up the slack? People like you and me, individuals, corporations, everybody else that pays taxes has to pick up the slack for these fucking religions that don't pay anything. Now, religions get a tax-free status on the three aspects of their income. First, property holdings. They go tax-free on their properties. Second, donations. And third, commercial ventures. Let's start with the fact that they go tax-free on their property holdings. If you don't think religions have wealth and property that you can't even imagine, go Google it and see what they own. But it's estimated that if religions had to start paying property taxes on their property holdings, it would generate $100 billion. Like that. Now in the United States right now, we are basically, there's a lot of talk about this fiscal cliff and the financial doom that's coming. Why? Because of the previous administrations spending way more than it's taking in. And like anything, it can't survive through that, really. I mean, well, it can. Government can do it. If it were you and I and we were running a household budget and we were spending 8,000 times more money than we were bringing in, we'd be bankrupt in no time. But the government can just keep printing up more money. And what that does is, again, that puts the burden on us because it devalues the dollar, and all of a sudden the dollar that you had that used to be worth $1 is now worth 8.5 cents. So your buying power has gone to shit. And all of a sudden you start feeling the fact that, wow, my standard of living has gone down so low, and I don't know why. I'm making the same amount of money. Well, it's because your money isn't buying you what it used to. And we have to compete in a global market, and other currencies are holding their value and ours isn't, and blah, blah, blah. It's a whole nother discussion. But the fact is, I thought religion was a benevolent organization for the benefit of mankind. You would think that they would want to pay their fair share just like everybody else. But they don't. They've been given a pass by the government. The government said, hey, you believe in a magical genie that lives in the sky and you perpetrate that myth, so we're going to let you get away with not paying any taxes. And they run with it. How can I blame them if the government said, hey, Kinghuman, you're a big idiot with a bald head, we're going to let you go without paying any taxes? I'd say, great. Let everybody else pay their taxes. Fine. Well, that's what religion is doing. But it's up to you and me to make sure that this doesn't happen. And the way we're going to have to do it is we're going to have to contact our congressman and say, hey, look, strap on a pair of hairy ball bags and demand, not ask, but demand that religion pays its fair share of taxes, just like every other business. And I say business because religion is business. It's the biggest business in the world. If you don't think religion is a business, here's something I want you to do. Stand up, pull your head out of your ass, and take a deep breath of fresh air. And see if that doesn't get your head cleared up a little bit. Religion owns shopping malls, banks, they own huge amounts of real estate. They make more money. I think they make more money than the oil companies. It's anecdotal. I don't have any evidence to support my theory, but I see it as no different than an oil company. Religion, oh, phone's ringing. The oil companies sell a commodity that makes your car go. Religion sells an emotional commodity that makes you feel good. It's the same shit. One is, one is more abstract than the other. One is physical, one isn't, one is spiritual. But they're selling a product just like anything else. And don't get me, I don't want to get in a big digression about why religion, I feel religion is so insidious, other than I wanted to talk about the financial aspects of them going tax-free and how ridiculous of a concept that is. And I've had it suggested to me that if we start taxing religion, it's religious persecution. No, it isn't. Is it personal persecution that I have to pay taxes on my property and my income? What's the difference? Believe me, the government would not tax religion out of existence. They would ask them to pay a fair share based on a percentage of what they take in, just like everybody else, just like every other corporation or individual in the world. But I'm talking about the United States primarily. So, and again, if you don't think religion is big business, I want you to go Google religious wealth, holdings by religious churches, whatever. Find out what they own. Look at the Vatican, for example. The Vatican is a country within a country. It's so massive. They own banks. They own. If the Vatican wanted to end world hunger tomorrow and cure a couple of extra diseases on top of it, they could, by selling off just a fraction of the treasures that they have hoarded. But will that ever happen? Heck no! Never happen! They're grabbing more with both hands. Religion is the greediest institution I've ever seen in my life. They're greedier than oil companies. They're greedier than chemical companies. They're greedier than these huge mega, I don't know, whatever you can think of, the worst corporation in the world. They're greedier. It's just amazing to me. And the reason they can get away with it is because religion, one of the biggest aspects of religion is that you're programmed not to question it or anything about it. If you question anything about religion, you're a blasphemer, you're a heretic, you're a heathen, you're excommunicated. There are all these different shame dynamics imposed on anybody that, questions religion in any way. So our politicians know that if they were ever to strap on a pair of balls and say, hey, look, we got to start taxing religion just like everything else, and then we'll really have a honest separation of church and state, not just a fake one, that they would be voted out of office because religious nutbags would take that as an attack on their religion. It's religious persecution. You can't tax us. We'll go out of business. Freaking idiots. Get away from your religious programming and try and think for yourself. Asking religion to do the thing, pay their fair share just like everybody else isn't persecution. It's equality.